Hi Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. Today I am going to do my plans for 2023. So this is Flosstube number 24. Back really quickly after my last episode, but yeah, I wanted to come back and share with you what I have decided for my stitchy plans for next year. I know people have been asking me about what my plans are. In fact, they started asking me in November, and it's taken me a while to mull over what I wanted to do. I kind of had some ideas, and then I ditched those ideas, and I think that was really good for me, kind of seeing what other people were doing, thinking about what best suited me and my style of stitching and my life at this particular point in time and things like that. So it is Saturday the 17th of December, so we're getting really close to Christmas Day now. I've just gone and had my Christmassy nails done this morning. We are going to see Father Christmas tomorrow with Bella, which will be really nice, and then I have 2 days left at work before I break up for a 2-week break, which I'm really looking forward to. Stefan has already broken up for Christmas, so he's going to be looking after Bella on Monday and Tuesday. Yeah, so it's all very exciting at the moment. Before I get started with my plans, I've got like a little list in my planner here. Just wanted to mention a couple of things with my Etsy shop. Number one, I put a message out on Instagram and on my, I think I did on my community tab on YouTube, to say that I had a problem with my cutting machine and I basically had to order a new one. Thread drops and floss cards at the moment you can't see them in my Etsy shop at the moment because I can't make them, basically. I think on Tuesday morning I got a dispatch notice and it said it would take 10 to 14 business days to get here. So with the festive season as well, I'm not expecting it to be here before Christmas. And I think it would be lucky if it were here before the start of the new year. It's such a shame because I've got some really exciting plans to do with my floss drops. And I can't do those now until I can't kind of go through those now until the new year, but they're going to be there in the new year. So for those of you that want to order, just hold tight for a little bit longer. And yeah, hopefully you'll be able to order as soon as my new machine arrives. I will reactivate those listings on my Etsy, and yeah, we'll get started with them again. The other thing I wanted to mention is yesterday I did an Instagram post about a new artist that's up on the shop. So this is the artist is Megan Walsh, and I put 4 patterns up on the shop yesterday. This is Divinity by her. It's an absolutely amazing pattern of an owl. Really pretty. She uses such amazing colours, and I love her style. This is Andromeda. Love all the golds and the bronziness on her skin, and can you imagine how amazing that face is going to be when it's stitched up? Just so great. This is Her Journey. Beautiful tiger. She is amazing. And then this lovely pink flower in the background. And then the last one is Eyes of Fire. This is a lion, and I love the way that you've got the water and the sunset sort of interspersed, or sort of, it's almost like a part of the lion. It's amazing. So yeah, they're all up on my Etsy shop now. And again, I have lots of exciting things in the pipeline for the Etsy shop, so please keep your eye on it. So that's what I wanted to mention about that. So 2023 plans. Like I said, I've mulled these over for quite a while. Originally I made myself a whip go board, and I had like a spreadsheet with like a whole list of new starts that I wanted to do, like 2 or 3 a month. And my whip go board had specific whips on it and like how many stitches I wanted to get done, or like what percentage or a particular bit of the chart that I wanted to get done for that month. And that was kind of based off of what Laurie was talking about doing, or what she had done actually, when she talked about her 2022 plans. But then I mulled that over for a little while, and one of the things that I've found quite restrictive this year is having particular patterns that I have to stitch on every month, and those are things that I have kind of put on my own shoulders. But I would rather like the freedom of just being able to choose whatever I like to stitch on. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll do a Whitgo board based on prompts. So I did another board where I had stitch on your oldest project, or stitch on the project with the most colours, or stitch on your biggest project, and things like that. And I thought that would be a bit less restrictive and give more of the element, well, some sort of element of surprise anyway. But then again, there would be two things for me that would be really specific. And I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of person where if I've got a hobby, if I put too restrictive a goal on myself for my hobby, I kind of almost push away from it. And I think that will be even more so the case next year, because I have less time to stitch now, because Bella isn't napping during the day. I only have my evenings when I'm at work, and then a little bit of time in the morning before she wakes up. Not this morning because I like overslept. So yeah, so I think I really just want to focus on stitching what I want to stitch. But I do think it's important to have some focus, especially when I do have more than one whip. You know, I'm not a monogamous stitcher anymore. I do have lots of different things on the go. And I do want to have some focus. Now, these goals that I've got, they're not hard and fast rules. They're things that I would like to achieve by the end of 2023. But if it doesn't happen, then it's not the end of the world. You know, I'm not at work. These are not work goals. I'm not going to, you know, get a slap on the wrist if I haven't achieved them or whatever. So it's just a bit of fun. It's just to give me some sort of direction for my stitching. And like I said, if I don't achieve it, then it doesn't matter. You know, who's going to come and tell me off? Nobody. So like I said, I've got my little list here. I'm still using this planner that I got from Amazon last year. However, it is a 2-year planner, so I still have the 2023 months in here. However, because I was using it sort of, I was writing down what different patterns needed on the notes pages, and I've stopped doing that in here now. I did want to get a new one of these. I can't find it on Amazon again. It's like they've unlisted them. So I'm going to have to see whether I can find these particular planners elsewhere. If not, I'll have to look at an alternative, or I might just have to use this one for 2023. We'll see. So, right, so goal number 1 is to continue stitching 100 stitches a day on a stitching shelf. Artwork by Amy Stewart and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. So this is a supersized max colour. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished. I mould over, do I stick with this for 100 stitches a day, or do I alternate my full coverage pattern? So I do 100 stitches a day on this in January, and then something else in February. However, I really want to keep going with this, basically, because it's so large. I don't know, I just really want to keep going with this one, basically. So I'm going to show you where it's at the moment. So you can see, you did see this last week, but I'll just quickly show you where it's at now. So I've worked my way across here now, and then I'm coming back across on the next row. And I do have a goal for this one. So 100 stitches a day next year. I do 100 plus. So basically wherever my thread takes me, it might be that I do more than 100 stitches, but the minimum is 100. I want to get, because I've got some full coverage goals, and so I might as well talk about this one right here. I want to get 5 to 6% of this done next year. So 5% is 3,006, well, 100 stitches a day would make it, I can't remember whether this would make it 5%, because I'm at 2% at the moment, or whether it would be an extra 5%. I think it's an extra 5%, is 36,500 stitches. And then if it was 6%, I would be doing 42,797 stitches. I can't remember how many stitches that is a day. I should have written that down. Let's just do a quick calculation. So 42,797 divided by 365 is 117 stitches a day. So somewhere between there. I didn't want to make it exactly 100 stitches because I think, well, I'm going to do that anyway. So it's not really a goal. So let's aim for a little bit more than that. So that's the goal with that one. Continue doing 100 stitches a day and to get between 5 and 6% progress on that next year. So by the end of 2023, this will be at either 7 or 8% complete, which sounds such a small number, but this is just such a big pattern. So that is goal number 1. Okay, I started the seasonal montages by Janet Stever on these are patterns on Pain Free Crafts. I'm going to show you the autumn one, but I am starting the winter one on winter solstice, so December the 21st. So I have 2 on the go, and then obviously I'll start spring and summer in 2023. The goal with these is to do 3,000 stitches in a season. So that's basically 1,000 stitches a month. So I can't remember how many stitches I've done on this. Again, you can see how organised I am with this video. I can get my pad up, but I'm not going to. I've definitely done over 1,000 stitches on this. I think this is at something like 1,200. So this is the autumn pattern. These are not patterns that I have a specific time frame that I would like to finish it in. You know, I'll finish them eventually. You know, and 3,000 stitches will probably get me another, it will probably be like a page and a half. So I'll probably get a couple of pages done on this by the end of 2023, and that's fine. I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing with those. I might as well talk about my other full coverage while I'm here. So this is a kit that I'm stitching, but it is a full coverage kit. It's called Daydreaming by Marejka, and everything comes in the kit. And I started this, let's have a little look when I started it, in July. I didn't get very far, basically because I was finding it hard to work off of the paper pattern. So I got my husband to scan it in for me at work, and now I'm working off of, I can work off of the GoodNotes app. So which way round does this go? This way, I think. So this is what we've done on this. It's not particularly very much. I've started in the top left corner. And some of it is full cross and some of it is half cross. In fact, all of that so far is half cross. So the goal with that one is to get a page completed. So 25% of the pattern done. That's the goal with that one. And I think this is 4 pages, this pattern. So I think that is definitely achievable, and I think it will be easier for me to work on now I've got it on my GoodNotes app. So that's the goal with that. I've talked about a stitching shelf already. Okay, Feline Force 2. So this is the pattern that Kaylee charted for me, and the artwork is by Sophie Wilkins. This is what it looks like. So I'll show you where I'm at. I started in the middle with this one. So this is where I'm at. Let me give you a bit of a close-up. I can't see what you're seeing, so hopefully that's on the screen. Yeah. And the goal with this one is to get it to 10%. And that would be 10,138 stitches. So that's basically 844 stitches a month. And that one I'm also going to be using for a challenge in the Facebook group Full Coverage Fanatics. So they're doing a number of challenges for 2023. One of the challenges that they're doing is called By the Numbers. And you basically choose a chart to work on, and then you work on it for a certain number of stitches that month and post a before picture and an after picture. So I think the ones that you can choose from are 500 stitches, 1,000, 2,000 and 5,000. And you don't have to do the same full coverage pattern every month. You can do a different one every month as long as you post at the beginning where it was at and then at the end. So I've put down for this one to do 1,000 stitches. So actually I should get to over 10% in that one. I just love this pattern. I love the picture, and it's not a really big full coverage. So I think I can definitely make some good progress on that this year. So that is that one. And then the last full coverage goal that I have is on Dark Cinderella by Barrett Biggers. I started this quite recently, and my goal on this one is to get to 5%. So I'll show you where I'm up to so far. I haven't done an awful lot of this. This is where we're up to. I can't remember how many stitches this is. Let's see on I have got the Stitch Pal app that I use. It says that I've done 534 stitches. So if I want to get to 5%, I have to do 11,192. So that's under 1,000 stitches a month again, isn't it? So let's just see, 11,192 divided by 12, 932 stitches a month. So that is that one. Let's put that back in there. So they're all the full coverage patterns that I have on the go at the moment. I do plan to start some more, but I won't have specific goals on those for 2023. I'll start them when I fancy them, basically. Okay, then I have a list of other patterns that I would like to finish in 2023. So here we go. Number 1 is my Owl bookmark. This is a kit by Povitrulia. I was sent this kit by them. Really small little kit. I started in the middle. I haven't got very far. There you go. That's where I've got to so far. But this isn't going to be a large pattern to complete. So that is definitely going to be a finish in 2023. Okay, number 2. You'll see some ones now that you haven't seen in quite a while. So this is, where's the cover photo for this? Seashell Treasures. This is a kit, a Gold Collection Petites kit from Dimensions. And I just have this bit at the end to do. So this is about 75% at the moment. So I just have the last bit to do. There's a couple more shells and a bit of back stitching basically. So I think again that can definitely get done in 2023. Really confident that I can do that one. And I'm going to love when that's finished. Okay, next one. Just picking from my pile basically. This is another kit. This is from Vervico and it is called Baby Boots. And this is my daughter's birth sampler. So I'm obviously doing the pink shoes. And Yeah, that's right. I finished the first boot. So it go like this. Yeah, so it goes like this. So I have the second boot to do. This boot to do, and then a bit of shadowing, and then the name down the bottom. There's no backstitch in this apart from the lettering. So I'm not quite at 50% with this, but this is a lot of work done. All of these patterns that I'm pulling out, I'm like, oh, I really want to get back to that. So yeah, the goal is to finish that one. And I really want to finish that one because I really would like that up in her room. This is a bit of an ambitious goal, but we'll see. This one is Forever and Ever by Cottage Garden Samplings. This is part of the Songbirds Garden series. And I started this with Vicky from the Virginia Stitcher earlier this year. I'll show you where I'm at. I haven't been talking about any of the fabrics or whatever, but I mentioned that in normal Flosstubes. I'm not going to mention it here. This is where I'm up to. So I've just done the top flower. So there's quite a lot to do. There's a lot more stitching in this than you first kind of realise. So I think it would be quite ambitious for me to finish that. So if I don't, I'm not going to... I probably won't be surprised, but I would like to make some more progress on that. Because that is a lovely one. Okay. This was a stitch along from Satsuma Street earlier this year. This is called the Animal House. Do I have a picture of what it looks like when it's finished? Don't think so. I'll put one up on the screen so you can see, or this side or whatever. This was released in 6 parts and I have done part 1. So yeah, I'd like to finish that as well. Again, I think that's probably quite ambitious, but once I got going on this, I really enjoyed the stitching of it, and the colours in here are lovely. So yeah, that's probably one that I've put up in my daughter's room when that's finished. She loves animals. Okay, another one. This again is quite ambitious, but we'll see. This is the Touch of Magic stitch along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and again I'll put a photo up here of the finished piece. You're not really going to be able to see. We started in the middle and it says Trick or Treat. And then I started part 2. I think this is the start of a cat. I think it is anyway. So I didn't get very far with that one. I've forgotten where my needle minders are. I found 2 in here. This is just an Aza that is stitched on. Yeah, so I think there were 5 parts to that. So again, I think that would be quite ambitious, but it's a goal. Put that there. Okay, a few more. This is Summer Memory Jars by Susan Bates. You can get this pattern in her Etsy shop, and it is also in Cross Stitcher magazine from August 2018. This was a stitch along that Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny was hosting, and I am in the middle of doing jar number 6. So, and there are 9 jars. So I'm over 50% now. I think I can definitely get that done. So I want to finish that. 2 more, and I'm not mentioning all of the ones I have here. And this isn't a whip parade, but anyway. I'd like to finish Hello Sunshine from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is their summer tree. And this is where I'm at with this one. So I have the other side of the grass and the rest of the tree to do. I think that's definitely doable. I'll spend really long talking about these because I'll talk about them more in my whip parade. And then the last one I want to finish is Easter Egg Trio. This was in Just Cross Stitch magazine from April 2022, and I started with this one. So I would like to get all 3 of these done, and this is where I'm at. So about halfway with that. Yeah. So there we go. So those are all the ones that I would like to get finished. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Okay, goal number 5 is I wrote down some things about starting new things. I want to have the freedom to start new things when I want to start them. I've got a lot of things kitted up. For those of you that saw my kit parade earlier in the year, you know that. And then I have added to that whenever I've, you know, been able to, basically. I do have some specific plans for things I want to start at the beginning of 2023, and then kind of we'll go from there. So I didn't pull those out, so I might just do that now. Okay. So a few things that I want to start. Firstly, Teresa from Teresa Little Stitcher is doing a Fancy Lady stitch along starting in January. That a lot of people are joining in on. I'm not sure about the hashtag because they decided what the hashtag was in a live stream and I haven't watched that live stream. So I decided that I'm going to start Raven by Nora Corbett. It's the first Fancy Lady that I ever kitted up. So I'm just going to get started with her. That might well be my new year, new start. We'll see how that goes. I've showed you Birdsong by Alexandra Gallagher before. This is a pattern that is in Kaylee's shop. I think it's the sewingshop.ca. I'll leave it linked down below. You can go and buy this from there. And I have the I have everything for that. I've got some sparkly thread coming for these lines here. In a Lakeside Needlecraft order, but apart from that I've got everything that I need, so I want to start that early in 2023. Another one that I want to start is for my daughter. This is Kids Alphabet by Eccentric Avenue on Etsy, and these are all, you can see that these are all as individual letters, but you can stitch them as one whole design. Gives you the option for both in there. And I bought this pattern and kitted it up August, and I still haven't started it yet. And Lauren from Cross Stitch Bunny made a good point on her last video when she was talking about her plans for 2023, and she was talking about patterns that she wanted to stitch for her children, and saying, you know, I only have a limited amount of time to do those things, you know, like especially for things that they want right now, or are interested in. Because they grow up so quickly, and that's such a good point. So I really want to do this and put this up on her wall as quickly as possible. And then the other one I want to start quite quickly in 2023 is Mini Top Frog, and this is a Heaven and Earth design by artwork by Jodie Bergsma. And Darren and Judy, so Darren from Dizzy Stitcher and Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World are hosting a stitch along of that. And Amy from Amy Loves Toads finished this earlier in the year, and it was just so lovely that I thought, right, I'm joining in with that. There are other things that I am considering buying some material for. So one of them is one of the other Amy Stewart shelves that I have, probably Once Upon a Fairy Tale. I'd quite like to get a piece of material for that. I would like to start stitching one of my own patterns, to have that to show basically. Choosing which one at the moment is quite difficult, but that's kind of an idea that I've got as well. And then the other thing that I've written down for new starts for here is I want to kind of do a one in, one out system on specific categories. So for example, when I finish my seashell treasures from Dimensions, then I will start a new Dimensions kit. When I finish my Hello Sunshine tree from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, then I will start a new tree. When I have finished Raven by Nora Corbett, then I will start a new Fancy Lady. So I think I will only have one Dimensions kit, one seasonal tree, one Fancy Lady on the go, just to kind of not overwhelm myself. So I think when a lot of these patterns are complete, I won't necessarily replace them with something similar. Yeah, because I can see that the kind of stitching I'm going to do, what have I done to my hair? Sorry. The kind of stitching that the kind of stitcher that I can see myself being, or the road I'm going down at the moment is mostly full coverage with some other things on the go at the same time. I'm not an exclusive full coverage stitcher, but that's what I really enjoy. But I also would like to have other things on the go as well. So I'm not limiting how many full coverages I start and stitch on. Well, I'm not limiting anything basically, but I think I will probably end up with more full coverage and less of the smaller patterns. Okay, goal number 6 is to always have a small on the go. I think it's nice for you to be able to finish something quite quickly. You know, having a small pattern means that I can stitch on something in the car if we're going somewhere, or with Bella around if she's playing nicely for a few minutes. That's not been the case, just because she was wants you to play with her basically, but you know, could be the case. Yeah, and I think with all of these big projects that I have, it's nice to have a really small one to work on. So for example, at the moment that could be my owl bookmark, but I also have some seasonal cottages from, are they from Country Cottage Needleworks, I think, and I have nearly all of those now, and have the material to stitch a couple. I think those would be good small ones to do. I started in December some snowflake decorations that are quite small, and that would be a nice small to have on the go. Yeah, always have a small on the go. Okay, number 7 is to fully finish as many projects as I can. I have a drawer with quite a few in that I would like to fully finish, just because it'd be nice to display them. I didn't put a number on this one, but I do think it would be nice for me to fully finish some. This might be a goal that goes really well next year. It might be a goal that doesn't, just because of time, basically. But yeah, I do want to have things out on display. Goal number 8 is about purchases. So I've written down here that I want to concentrate on small patterns for purchases and kitting up the patterns that I have in my stash. That's not to say that when Heaven and Earth have a sale or whatever, I'm not going to buy more things, because I probably will. But I don't want to buy loads and loads. So for example, I do have a little bit of Christmas money at the moment, and there are probably a couple of patterns that I will buy, but I want to concentrate on kitting some things up more. So yeah, that's what I want to do with purchases next year. Number 9, I've written down that I want to participate in more community events. And that's where not doing whip go and things like that comes into it. You know, I want to have the freedom to go, right, okay, so I want to participate in Carolyn Zook's magazine monthly challenge in January. I want to do March Madness. I would like to do Christmas stitching in July or whatever. I want to participate in more community events, because yeah, it's fun, and I haven't really done an awful lot of that this year. But yeah, that's the kind of plan. And then number 10 I've talked to you about already. That was the full coverage fanatics goal. So that's everything. I feel like I kind of sped through that, but we're at 35 minutes, so maybe not. Like I haven't mentioned every whip that I've got on the go. I haven't mentioned some things I've started in December. I haven't mentioned a few things that I started earlier in the year. I didn't want to have a goal for every single pattern that I have. I think that's a bit much. Already I think a few of these are probably quite ambitious, but like I said at the beginning, these are goals for me. They're not hard and fast rules, and if I don't reach them at the end of the year, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I would love to hear from you in the comments. What are your plans for 2023? What sort of things have you decided to do? Have you got any other things that you think would be good for me? Any other suggestions? I'm really, open to those. I'd love having chats with you in the comments down below. So I think that's everything. I'm going to go because, of course, every video I make now, Bella is playing with Daddy and, mum guilt and all of those kinds of things. So, yeah, I'm going to go. I will not be doing a video now before Christmas. So I said Merry Christmas in my last video. I'll say it again here. If you're celebrating, I hope you have a lovely time, or however you decide to celebrate. And if you're celebrating something different, then equally, I hope you have a lovely time. And if you're not celebrating anything at all, then I hope you just have a lovely few quiet days to yourself or with your family and you enjoy that time, basically. So have a lovely festive season. And I will be back probably in the week between Christmas and New Year. And I will probably do my whip parade then. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you then. Have a lovely day and happy stitching. Bye.